Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
What's going on, everybody? We are live at Phoenix Raceway tonight for HTL's iRacing League. 180 laps tonight at Phoenix Raceway. These next-gen cars are flying around this track. I've heard from a lot of different drivers that 1 and 2 is probably the most difficult turn for these guys. I guess it gets a little loose coming out of the corner, which is expected at Phoenix. Track temp tonight is 89 degrees, air temp 85, so a nice cool night in Phoenix. Got a little wind out of the east at 8 miles an hour. Race details for tonight, pulling those up now. So, Marcus Chafin won the practice race earlier in the week. First ever HTL race at Phoenix. They have not raced here in the previous season. In 6 races, we have had 6 different first-time winners. Will we see another one tonight, or will we see our first repeat winner? Running the open dogleg layout tonight. No, we're not running the old school grass on the dogleg. Running the current model of what NASCAR runs at Phoenix. The practice race was decided by only .038. So very slim margin coming to the line. As you can see in that picture, that was the finishing picture from that practice race. So Marcus Chafin in the 8 beat out the 53 of Gutekunst just a little bit, about a half car. So, like I said, temps tonight is around 87 on track, 9% of humidity. Clear skies though, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue with a little bit of wind coming out of the northeast. Laps tonight, like I said, 180 tonight. Stage 1 will be lap 30. Stage 2 will be lap 80. They should be kicking off here soon. They're running through the final minutes of practice. I'll pull up the points here so we can see where everybody's at. Blake Henderson still on top after last week's first win. Blake Henderson sitting at 304 points. Wes Fuller sitting second with 299. Wes put out the chat or put out in the chat in the Discord earlier saying those stage points have really been a bonus for a lot of different drivers. So looking at those drivers trying to keep those bonus points and also finish well, but it seems like the bonus points are actually helping guys out more than the finishes. So Matt Smith sitting third with 294 or 284, sorry. Dylan McDonald sitting at 38, sitting fourth, 258 points. That'll make Mama Fuller happy. 2 of her boys that she roots for sitting second and fourth. Alfred Denny sitting fifth right now. Last week's winner of April Absurdity coming down to the end at Indianapolis sitting fifth right now, 254 points. Angel Santiago moving finally up out of the bottom 10, now in sixth with 250 points. Matt Boone in that 83 Monster vehicle. See what scheme he's running tonight. He is sitting 7th at 249 points, 1 point out of 6th. Not too far off of the lead, though. Corey Kobe, his teammate, sitting 8th in the points at 239, 10 points shy of his teammate. Corey and Matt both have been securing a lot of good points lately. We'll see if they can tame Phoenix. 9th in points, Kevin Gibney, winner a few weeks ago, sitting at 226 points. 10th is Matthew Steven in the 98, sitting at 222. I think this is Matt's first appearance in the top 10. Gary Donaldson in that 22, sitting 11th with 219. Hunter Whitlock, 216. Marcus Chafin, the one that won the practice race, so be on the lookout for Marcus tonight, sitting 13th at 212 points. Mark Parkhorst missed a few races, has fallen back to 14th. He was our points leader a few weeks ago. Sitting at 211, DJ Anderson the second, sitting at 201. John Gutekunst, who finished second in the practice, sitting at 199. Alistair Kirk, who's missed a few races in that 51, super fast at Indianapolis, got caught up in a mess late in the race, sitting 17th right now at 190. Chris Pendell won a few weeks ago as well, sitting 18th at 188 points. He's been climbing up through the standings as he did not start the season here at HTL. Bryce Boyer in the 1 car sitting 19th at 186, and Nathan Estep sitting 20th at 185 points. Who will crack the top 15 tonight? Top 15 go to the playoffs. 10 races left before the chase starts. So this is where the crunch time starts to come in. You really want to get as many points as you can to finish out the season to really secure your spot in that top 15. The bottom half of this group, they're really pushing. You can see a lot of drivers real close to each other. You can look at about 9th from 226 points all the way to 15th, which is 201 points. So not a whole lot of separation between those guys. And then the guys who are nipping at their heels, sitting at 199, 190, 188, and 186. Those guys could easily make up those points and get into this chase race after the season ends. looking at the practice, it looks like these guys are about a minute away from wrapping up practice and will be headed to qualifying. I should be joined in the booth, I believe, tonight by Ryan Pinnell, who was here last week. He's going to be doing a dirt race, I believe, over on the ARC series, and then he'll be over here, I think, a little later, joining me in the booth. So just me for tonight so far. Should be pretty simple to handle all this with being Phoenix. This track, I do like this track. I ran a few months ago in an official Road to Pro without even realizing I jumped in a Road to Pro and wound up finishing second in the next gen cars. Um, I do like these next gen cars. I've driven a lot of the next gen at different tracks, and I think this track can really be a benefit for the next gen car getting through the corners. But we'll see if these guys can handle it tonight. They've been doing a little bit better with these cautions that they've had those first few races. Last week was the lowest amount of cautions they had had, so we'll see if they can improve on that this week. I got word from the owner that they should be able to improve from that and pull it off a little bit better. 7 cautions last week, so not too terrible though for Phoenix if you really think about it. And I mean, even last week at Indianapolis, 7, that's not that bad at Indianapolis. I mean, real racers put in that many cautions. So we'll see who can hang tonight. Fastest in practice, I think, was Chad Swatsworth up at the front in that 88 back after a few weeks of missing due to work. So we'll see if he'll be able to climb back up into those points. I think if I pull those points back up, I think he's sitting down in 24th with 110 points. So he is sitting about 100 points out from 15th, which is where he needs to get to for the playoffs. So big weeks coming up for him. I know there's a few tracks coming up though that he really likes. Sonoma coming up next week. It's a track favorite of his. So if he's fast tonight and he's fast at Sonoma, we should be able to see him maybe climb up through the points and maybe make that top 15 with his other 3 teammates. All 3 of his teammates are in the chase so far. Sitting second, Wes Fuller, 7th, Matt Boone, and Corey Kobe sitting 8th. So could all 4 of Kobe Boone Racing get into the playoffs? We'll see. Tonight's race is brought to you by Deep Racing. I will pull up their Facebook page a little later in the broadcast, but you can see their emblem down there. Go to Deep Racing at facebook.com and check them out. A lot of different information about the drivers and things like that on there. I know their sponsors that they have are Blackwater Suds, Circle B, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, and Old Timer Hat Company. Make sure you use Deep Racing at checkout at all of those sites for some savings. So if you head on down to Blackwater Subs, Circle B, Diecast, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, Old Timer Hat Company, use that code Deep Racing and get your discount and collect some savings and try to get some different apparel or gear or anything that you can find there. Diecast, coffee, whatever you need. But yeah, they're wrapping up practice, going into qualifying right now. It looks like Bryce Boyer is on the pole as of right now. Shad Swatsworth sitting second, Guy Clem sitting third. Not that many have come out for qualifying so far, so we'll see who can jump into the top spots in qualifying as they wrap up. About 5 minutes left of qualifying, and we'll get this race on the road and put a show on for you guys. I'll try to bring up a couple drivers real quick and just get a little bit of a, I guess, opinion on how they're feeling about this track. Let's pull up the points leader, see what he says. Blake Henderson, the owner admin. Blake, you got a copy of this? Is Swats in the booth. Hey, Blake, just giving a little rundown for the fans out here watching. How are you feeling about Phoenix tonight? Yeah, I agree with you. I told you, I think last week, I had put in just an official race just on accident and had jumped into a Road to Pro race. Didn't realize that and wound up finishing second in that race. So I really like this track. I think this track you can make a lot of passes coming into the corners if you can hold that bottom line or carry the momentum across the top. That's another spot too. I don't like to use the dog leg myself, so we'll see if who can venture down there on that dog leg and be wary of when they come back up on track if they don't take anybody out. Are you a dog leg person, or you stay out and ride the line that's around the track, the original? Gotcha. Apparently, I am not able to hear you. Not sure what's going on there. Stream can't hear me. Sorry. Says. All right. Go ahead and talk again. Yep.
Testing one, two,
Gotcha now.
three. Awesome.
All right. Sorry
But
about
for the
that.
viewers to hear, I am a dogleg guy for essentially the first few laps of a run. But beyond that, I start using the normal portion of it because it can wear your tires out pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the dog leg myself. I don't like going down there and bouncing it off the bottom. Even in real life, you see the sparks flying, you see the chunks flying out from underneath the cars as they dive it down there. It really wears on your your car and the tires. And I prefer to stay up high and just carry the momentum around the corners. But a lot of guys like to use that dog leg and try to shortcut the track, and it does work for some, but it can be deadly coming back up on the track and not being aware of your surroundings. Um, we'll see if that happens tonight, but it sounds like we should see some very clean racing tonight. You said earlier that the guys during the practice race, the cautions should be lowered down tonight, and you guys did pretty well last week with lowering the amount of cautions. 7 cautions for Indianapolis. That's really not that bad. So, what is your opinion on that again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we don't get a lot of cautions here. My only worry is that there's not a whole lot, especially if it happens at a 2. There's not a whole lot of room to avoid wrecks. But it's the same thing as any other league. Cautions breed caution. So if we can get out of that caution phase, I don't really see us having a whole lot of cautions. Um, yeah, I mean, with this Gen 7 car, this track is really not hard to drive. I mean, because you have less horsepower, more downforce. So, um, yeah, I think there's gonna be a really racy track. It seems to be like a one lane type deal. But yeah, tires are gonna be a big deal. As this is gonna be going into night. This is kind of an afternoon race. It's gonna be heading to night. As the sun goes down, this track gets tight. So a lot of brake bias is going to be messed with, and just keeping up with the track is going to be a big deal.
Well, we will definitely be able to see if you can hang on there with the points lead. Got your first win last week. See if you can make it 2 in a row. Become our first multi-winner of the season. So good luck, Blake. And looks like you guys are wrapping up qualifying. I don't see you on the board, so looks
Thank
like
you.
you're,
So I
you're
gotta.
gonna wait.
I'm gonna
So
qualify. I'm
all
gonna
right,
qualify as soon as I get back. So
all right. I'll send you back down to Tombstone Racing. Good luck.
all right. Thank you so much.
All right, so you heard them. They're hoping, less cautions tonight. Turn 2 is probably the most trickiest of the turns, in my opinion. Coming out of that corner, you get a little bit loose sliding if you really, crank that wheel. I kind of just let the car fade to the wall, but not obviously hitting the wall. But I try to not diamond the corner, but kind of diamond the corner. Kind of a lopsided diamond, really, and just let it slide to the wall. Let it kind of pull itself. I don't really put a lot of wheel into it. I just let it move up there. I think it helps with saving the tires too. So we'll see if these guys can save a lot of tire. I did notice that in the race details, Blake did put in there that Bowling or my buddy Matt Boone has the best starting positions average of 3.6. So congratulations, Matt, on that. See if you can do it again tonight. Looks like you are sitting about 5th in qualifying right now. So looks like he's going to hover right around his average. But these guys are wrapping up. We will go into the national anthem. We'll come back for the gridding. And get this race underway. Like you heard Blake said, it is a mid-afternoon race down to the night race with the lights coming on. Should be very entertaining with the night lights hitting these cars going around Phoenix. Clear skies, so should be a beautiful night for racing, and we'll see what happens here. All right, we're back at Phoenix Raceway. It looks like our qualifying position is going to be Christopher Bendel in that 6. Bryce Boyer in that 1 is going to be starting 2nd. Shad Swatsworth starting 3rd as I pull up the grid here. All right, so like I said, Mark Parkour starting 4th, Matt Boone starting 5th, Nathan Estep starting 6th, Blake Henderson that we just talked to ran a late qualifying lap and came out to being 7th, Dylan McDonald starting 8th, Corey Kobe 9th, Angel Santiago 10th, Alistair Kirk in the 51 starting 11th, Matt Smith starting 12th, Guy Clem starting 13th tonight in his Ford. Marcus Chafin in the 8th, the winner of the practice race, started 14th. John Goodcunt 2nd in the practice race, starting 15th. Wes Fuller starting 16th. Kevin Gibney 17th. Hunter Whitlock 18th. Zachary Aberson in his 2nd race in the season, starting 19th. Ryan Moutre starting 20th. Matt Stevens starting 21st. Alfred Denny, April 30 winner, starting 22nd. Nate Blankenship starting 23rd tonight. Gary Donaldson 24th. And David Anderson of the 21, which is DJ Anderson, in the 23, will be starting 25th tonight. And we are underway tonight. Sorry, the buttons were stuck for some reason. So we're underway now. Here at Phoenix, we are green. Christopher Bendel leading around through turn 1 and 2. Everybody kind of spreading out 2 by 2 through the middle of the pack, though. So look out for turn 2. Looks like everybody comes out clean on this lap. Christopher Bendel going to lead the first lap around. 2nd place currently Shad Swatsworth. Mark Parkhurst up to 3rd. Bryce Boyer up to 4th. Matt Boone still 5th. Guys are cooking already. They're getting multiple laps down or done. 3 laps into the race. Christopher Bendel got a good lead over Shad Swatsworth right now, over about 4/10 of a lead. These guys are going to look to get into a groove and try to get as many of these laps done as they can. Like I said, stage 1 will be at lap 30, so be aware of stage breaks. These guys are going to have to time it right. 30 laps on fuel should be good to go. If we do have a caution for some reason in the middle of this stage here, you might see a couple guys come down and grab tires, as the second stage will be ending on lap 80. If they grab tires or fuel, they should be able to make it to the next stage, I think. So these guys are spreading around already. Looking back through the field, it looks like Dylan McDonald's up 3 spots. We got a caution coming out of the corner here. Let's go and find this one. Looks like it might be Guy Stevens or Matt Steven or Guy Clem actually involved. So John Guntkun's also involved in this one. Let's see if we can go find this real quick. So it looks like the 35 Hunter Whitlock, something happened to him. Let me back it up here. It looks like he just either misses a gear or something, but he almost stops. And the car right behind him in that 47 looks like 41 looks like he just runs right into him. So he started getting a little bit loose. He let off the gas. 41 had no idea, ran right into the back of him. Chain reaction caused the 53 and a few others to be involved in this one. Big accident on lap 6. Not what these guys were looking for a long green flag run to start this race to get some laps under their belts. But looks like we're going to have that first caution. These guys are going to be able to cool those tires back down. We'll see if anybody comes down pit road and maybe top off in fuel. But I don't really expect a whole lot of people unless they were involved in that incident. Looks like Hunter Whitlock, Matt Steven, Guy Clem, John Guntkuns, and Nate Evestep all down pit road to most likely repair some damage. Tonight's race is brought to you by Deep Racing. Here is their Facebook page. Go and check them out at facebook.com, Deep Racing 2019. They've got multiple drivers in tonight's race. Whenever you go to Deep Racing, if you want to, head on down to Blackwater Suds, Circle B, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, Old Timer Hat Company, and use that promo code Deep Racing at checkout. You'll get a pretty good discount for all of those websites I just listed. So go ahead and check them out for me. Going back into, hit the wrong button. Going back into the race tonight. Christopher Bendel still out front. Chad Swatsworth second. Mark Parkhurst up to third. Matt Boone up 1 position to fourth. Dylan McDonald up 3 to fifth. Blake Henderson up 1 to sixth. Bryce Boyer falling off the most from the top of the group of cars. He is down 5 spots to start the race in 7th. Angel Santiago sitting 8th now, up 2 positions. And Marcus Chafin, your practice winner earlier in the week, up 5 positions so far in 9th. Our biggest mover, though, is in 16th, up 8 positions. Gary Donaldson, the big mover so far early in this race, making a lot of passes early on. Another one is DJ Anderson in that 23 car Toyota, up 6 positions already as well. So some guys in the back moving up through the field, but a lot of fast guys at the front. So we'll see if they can get through the rest of these drivers to get up here and contend with these fast drivers. I would be very shocked to see anybody in the top 10 really come down pit road here, but doesn't look like we have any takers. So we have 1 to green now. Christopher Pendel, they should be getting locked up and go double foul, but with 1 to green, they will use the choose rule tonight. They're implementing the choose rule, and they will have to choose the inside or the outside lane at 1 to green. So as we're 1 to green, we see Christopher Pendel lining up on that inside line. Shad dropping from 2nd, going to 3rd, and giving up his 2nd position to Mark Parkhurst, who was the first person to choose that outside line. So as they're getting ready to go into the corner here, we will start racing again. Lap 9 is what we're coming to. Christopher Pendel going to lead him to the corner, see if he gets a good jump into the start of this next run. And we are green again. Good jump by the 6, going down the dog leg. That's what I was talking about before. I'm not a big dog leg guy. I don't like going down there myself. But on these restarts, it might make sense to go down and just try to get a little bit of a run. I'm noticing that we have another caution, though. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. I think somebody might have gotten loose coming out of that dog leg. All right, let's see if we can go find this. Looks like Matt Boone was involved, so we'll go and try to find him real quick and see what happened to Mr. Matt Boone. So it looks like Matt goes into the corner. The 90 just gives him the boot and shoves him through the corner and turns him. Matt bouncing it off the wall, spinning around a couple times. Might have clipped a few other drivers in there, but I don't believe that's going to make our sixth in points very happy with the start of this race. That is not a good look from Angel Santiago, giving the boot to the 83, who I believe is right next to him in points. So we'll take a look again here real quick, but let's back it up here and see if the 90 just got a run or something. Oh no, he didn't even let off. He just kind of gave him the boot, like I said. But Matt, nowhere knowing what was going on behind him, and the 90 just came in and pure gave him the kick. So that we'll see if that turns into some sort of battle between these two or anything. But yeah, that 83 is not going to be happy at the start of this race. And I see Bowling out in the chat now. Just saying he got punted by the 90. Yeah, Bowling, I found it. Definitely looks like he got the boot. So hope you can get that thing repaired and come back up through the field. Are coming around, I think, to 1 to green here. So once they hit that line, you'll see you guys start fanning out and trying to figure out which line they want to go to. It looks like the inside line was the preferred line by a lot of the guys out front, but Mark Parker is making the best of it. He was the first one to choose that outside line because that caution came out so quickly. He actually was still second, so now he's going to be the next one to choose after Chris. So does he go to the inside line, and then does Shad jump out to the outside line and try to do the same thing that Parkhurst just did, or does Shad stay to the inside line as he's been doing with Christopher Pendel, and then that opens up that whole outside line for somebody back fourth on back to jump all the way to the front row? So here we go to the choose line. It looks like Shad is going to stay down with Parkhurst and Pendel. That's going to move Dylan McDonald up to the front row. That's going to move a few guys up from the back to the front. So that's going to move, looks like Blake Henderson up to fourth. Shad's actually going to fall to fifth because of staying on that inside line. Alistair Kirk, or sixth, sorry, fifth, no. Alistair Kirk going to the outside line now, going to be set sixth outside of Shad. So top six changing up every single time here. Everybody seems to be wanting to stay to that inside line, but we'll see who gets through this next one. We are coming to the line. Christopher Pendel in that sixth Valvoline paint scheme. He is going to want to go front or fast. Actually, it's a Jeep paint scheme. That's who's sponsoring the race. So Christopher Pendel, one of those drivers out front. Takes the dog leg, gets a little bit of a gap between him and Dylan McDonald. Gets through turn 1 and 2. Looks like he's going through clean. Shad battling with another guy on the outside there. Looks like that is Mark Parkhurst in the 32 that Shad's battling with. Shad's trying to get back in line. That inside line did not prevail on that restart, so that outside line was able to carry the momentum. Dylan McDonald now looking low on Christopher Pendel as they go through the start stripe. Dylan McDonald going to use the dog leg, going to try to get out in front of Pendel. Not going to be able to clear him as they go into turn 1 and 2, but he has the inside line. Pendel having the outside line. That's where the momentum is. I like the middle line through these corners. You can see the rubber being put down on the track. That's where I like to stay, is right there on that middle line. Not too high, but not too low. Just to carry enough momentum, but also shorten the track just a little bit. It looks like we have another caution out on track. Don't think this is the start that these guys were looking for. I know they have been trying to clean up all of the different issues they've had with these next-gen cars, but this is not what they were looking for the start of this race. But hopefully they can get it cleaned up here before the first stage break. This is our third caution. We are 17 laps into the race. They have a stage break coming up at lap 30. So another 15, 14 laps, they'll have another stage break. So I wonder who comes down pit road this time and tries to take tires or fuel. What's going on, Dylan McDonald? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
It's going all right. Probably not for the rest of you guys here. Third caution so far. It looks like a lot of guys are just making little mistakes in the dogleg. You've moved up, though, 6 positions from the start of the race. 16, 17 laps into this race. You've already made a bunch of passes. You are now going to be sitting second. I see a lot of people choosing with this new choose rule tonight to stay to the inside line. What is your preference on this? If you have the chance, you go to the outside, or do you stay right there behind the leader, Christopher Pendel, on that inside line?
I actually, for me personally, I actually like the outside. I mean,
Me too.
yeah, the inside you're always going to have the run, but the outside, you got a lot more room to maneuver. Plus, I'm just worried about, getting through the first couple laps on fresher, newer tires, and not worried about overdriving the car. So, I mean, if Pendel takes the inside, then I'm going to take the outside. Or if he takes the outside, I'll take the inside. Just don't want to be behind him. I do want to lead a lap or two.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd prefer that middle to outside line myself. I like to carry the momentum around the corners, and I feel like it doesn't hurt the tires as much. That inside line just, to me, shaves off a lot of time and hurts the tires. So I've noticed from second back have tried to stay behind Pendel with this choose rule. So you're saying you do not want to stay behind him. So we'll see if you can get the lead from the 6 car, who's been pretty fast tonight.
Yeah, I actually thought that I got around it before that caution came out, and
It was very close.
I cooked it going into turn 3 and almost, I think I almost hit him. I can't really tell just because of the view of my FOV, but I kept it down as low as I possibly could, and we kept it clean, and he gave me room to come back up on the track after the dog leg. So much respect to him and everybody else out there too.
Well, you've been moving back through the points now after you took the lead and then had to miss a race. You're sitting 4th. Hopefully we can get you to a podium finish or a win. You would be our first multi-winner if you can pull it off, as you won back at, I believe, Michigan. So good luck, as it looks like you guys are coming to 1 to green, so good luck on the rest of the race. Might pull you up if you take the lead here.
All right, thank you.
All right, so you heard him say he does not want to stick to that inside line. He's on the same preference I am with that middle to outside line. That, to me, is where the momentum is carried. I really don't like that inside line. I know, as the leader, he can choose anywhere he wants, and the rest of the guys can choose behind him, but I would do what Dylan said, and I would always take the outside line myself. But it seems to be working for Pendel. He's the leader. He's led every lap, so not a big deal for him to be on the inside line. Going green again, Chris Rendell. Looks like Blake Henderson's going to try to go down through the dog leg. Tries to get in front of Dylan McDonald. I don't know if he's going to be able to clear him going into 1. Does not. Stays that inside line. McDonald should have the momentum on the outside line, though, to clear Blake Henderson in that bottom line and then get back to Christopher Vendel, who is trying to get away from everybody, but not successful at it. These guys get going here. We're going to do our first crank it up, so get ready for some noise. Turn your volumes up and listen to these engines roar around Phoenix. All right, we're back here. It looks like they are under caution one more time here. Not sure what happened, but we'll take a look here and try to find exactly what caused this caution. I think it had something to do with Kevin Gibney, so let me go and find him real quick, see if we can figure out exactly what happened. Actually, looks like it might be with Wes Fuller. I saw a lot of smoke out in front of Kevin Gibney. So we'll take a look, see if we can find exactly where it's at. I don't see Wes Fuller there, so... Alright, this might be it. I think Matt Smith might have got loose coming off of turn 2 here. And that is it. So it goes down to that inside wall, tries to save it, gets saved, then starts scrubbing and locking up the brakes. Able to save it, so good recovery from him. But it did bring out the caution, so this probably is going to be their stage break, actually, as we're on lap 26. So we'll see if this actually ends up being their stage break. sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties. Sound was all messed up. I could hear an echo, so that's what I was trying to figure out what you guys were able to hear or not hear. So I had to go to my phone and try to figure out what you guys were able to actually hear, and it sounded like there was like in a tunnel. So hopefully I got that fixed for you. But we are back underway again, looking at some different views here. The owner admin, Blake Henderson, gave me a bunch of different angles. I love these angles. You get to look right at the driver as you're going through, multiple different drivers here. I can pull up all of them. Left rear, gyro, over the top. Looks like we're getting a caution here, so they're not having a good start here. That might be, actually, that's the stage break, so they did not count that last caution as the stage break. Shad, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, we're taking a look at here at your Top Gun flight suit and your Merlin helmet inside the car here. You seem to be doing quite well. You were one of the faster drives in practice, qualified up front, and you're hovering right there in the top 5 consistently. You were sitting there second, but that inside line and from the second row back doesn't look like it's able to prevail with that outside line. What is your strategy going on for the second stage, as we just entered the second stage now?
Take her easy, keep it clean, hopefully, and not end up in any mess.
Do you have a preference on your inside line or outside line?
I like the inside on the restarts. I don't want anyone getting underneath me. I feel like some of these guys are driving it in really deep and washing up, and that's why we've had some cautions.
Well, this 88 machine you're driving tonight looks pretty clean. I know you designed it yourself. Tell us what you designed it after, just in case anybody else doesn't know.
It's actually a junior paint scheme that he ran. It's the Man of Steel, Soldier of Steel, or whatever you want to call it. Paint scheme he ran, I think, in like 2008, 2009, or I don't know, something like that. And since I'm running the 88, I figured why not? I think it's a pretty cool paint scheme. So I decided to try to recreate it the best I could, and this is what I came up with.
Well, it does look pretty good out on track. Your teammates are right around you now. You've got Matt Boone sitting 2 positions back from you when you guys come up to this choose rule. Corey Kobe sitting a little further back, and then your other teammate Wes Fuller also back there with Corey. So looks like you guys have, or at least the other half of your group has run into a little bit of trouble with, I think it was Boone that got booted in one of the corners there by the 90. So like you said, just trying to keep it clean and trying to avoid anybody getting underneath you and stuff like that. But one of the faster cars tonight, so good luck on the second stage, and we'll see what you can do for the third stage as well.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, so it's 2 different drivers we've talked to here. Dylan liking the outside line and Shad preferring that inside line. I get what Shad's talking about with not wanting a driver to get underneath him on the restarts, but it looks like that outside line, just the second person, or the outside front row, at least, is able to get in between the leader and third after they come through the dogleg, just carrying the momentum. It also could be just the restarts on how they've been able to time it, but yeah, I think if Shad gets that chance again, if he's ever sitting second, I think you should probably try that outside lane on a restart with Pendel or whoever's down there. But it looks like a lot of guys do like that inside line as they keep switching it up here. And Shad does now take the outside line, sitting third row. So sitting now behind Blake Henderson, points leader. He's going to have Mark Parkhorst and the leader of this race that's been leading all these laps, Christopher Pendel, now back in 5th. New leader for now is going to be Nathan Estep in that 55, involved in the first caution. Also, Matt Steven involved in that first caution. Is now sitting on the front row as well. So a lot of different guys that were not up here at the beginning of the race now going to be up here in the mix. we'll see if who can survive and who can't. 55 going to lead them through into the start of the second stage here. This is where those points matter. These guys keep collecting all these stage points and trying to get through the standings. They want to be in that top 15 to go into the chase. So as they go green here, we'll see if they can make it through this dog leg. This is where a lot of different issues have been happening for these guys. So they get through the dog leg clean. They go into turn 1 and 2 here. It's looking pretty clean so far. Everybody 2x2. A lot of spreading out. Into the final turn. Again, another car locking the brakes up. We'll see whose that's going to be. It's going to be spinning around there. I don't know who that was that went around, but we'll find them. Somebody went around in turn 3 and 4. That looked like they locked up the tires and might have cleaned out somebody else that wasn't ready for that. So we'll go back and take a look, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find this one. And it might have been John Gunkunz or Dylan McDonald. Actually, never mind. That was the 98 turning the 38. I thought it was a lockup, but let's go back and rewind a little further to see if maybe there was just an issue here. Oh, so Dylan actually went in a little further into the turn and ran into the back of the 88 of Shad, and that actually slowed him up to where the 98 was not expecting him to slow up so much and ran into the back of him. So accordion effect here, going to knock the Dylan, the 38, and the 98 of Matt Stevens down the line here, and then Shad Swatsworth also going to get penalized apparently as he's coming down, probably to fix his rear end damage if he can. Dylan, Shad, Guy Clem, and John Gunkunz all on pit road now to fix up some damage. Shad probably has just a little bit to that rear end as he got pretty much tattooed or booted. But that's the problem here is it's kind of like short track racing. A lot of guys don't know where other guys are going to let off and where other guys might try to, let it roll into the corners. And other guys might deep dive that corner to try to have it slide up and then diamond the effect in. And if you're not ready for it, guys are going to be slowing up in front of you, or guys are going to be coming from behind. You got to check mirror and windshield. Be aware of everybody. In my opinion, though, it is on the guy who is following. It is in their responsibility to not run into the back of the guy in front of them. You want to pay attention to that driver. If you start seeing him slow up, you got to slow up too, or pick another line. But sometimes it just happens so quickly here. You can't really anticipate it. We haven't run a whole lot of green flag laps, so these guys, they haven't seen what other people are doing. They're not seeing, the 38 probably didn't see how the 88 was driving his corners to know that maybe Shad lets off a little bit earlier than maybe the 38 does. So when that 88 let off, 38 did not know he was going to let off and ran right on the back of him, causing the 98 to run to the back of the 38 as well. So chain reaction, going to put these guys towards the back now. But that will be our 5th incident caution so far. I'm going to throw it in the side-by-side view here, and we'll take a little break and watch a commercial real quick and come back, but you won't lose the racing. As they go green, we'll stay on them.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. what I desire. On I burn.
Back on track, these guys have gone back green. Nathan Estep still out front, up 5 positions from his original starting position. Blake Henderson coming back up through the field, up 5 positions again, and it looks like they just brought out another caution. So I know Zach's involved in this one, so we'll take a look here and see what happens, Zach Averson, that 41. This one's probably going to be on the 90 again. Looks like he just overcooked it into the corner and slid right up into the 41 and just tossed him up into the wall. Looks like the 90 might want to start letting off a little bit earlier and using a little bit of brake because he's diving way deep into the corners. And that's the second person that he has booted into the wall. So 41 obviously and clearly not happy with the 90s. It gives him a little love tap there as they come around the corner here. Also puts himself back up in the wall. So, but definitely clearly not happy with the 90. Like I said, HTL iRacing League race tonight at Phoenix is brought to you by Deep Racing. I think I said Jeep Racing earlier, but Deep Racing. You can head on down to Facebook.com and check them out. Here is the Facebook page again. It is Deep Racing 2019. Whole group of guys that have been together for a while. Go check them out. They've got a bunch of sponsors between them all. You're going to want to check those out too. I listed off those sponsors earlier. They were Blackwater Suds, Circle B Diecast, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, and Old Timer Hat Company. Use that promo code DEEP RACING, that's DEEP RACING at checkout, and all of those sites you'll save some money doing that. So go ahead and go down to those websites. Again, Blackwater Suds, Circle B Diecast, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, and Old Timer Hat Company to get those discounts. I said about the drivers within Deep Racing themselves, and those drivers are Scott Poznanski, Alfred Denny, Jason Estep, I think that's supposed to be Nathan Estep, Chris Prendell, Dean Clavitt, Angel Santiago that we've seen now a few times in that 90, Kevin Gibney Jr. in the 31, also up in the top 10. So those guys, there's a whole group of them, so they are pretty fast. One to green again. These guys are going to start choosing where they want to go as you see them get double fouled here. There's a lot of guys choosing to stay to that inside line, and a lot of guys that come from the back that move up to that outside line and go from, you know, mid-teens to somewhere in the top 10 doing so. So we'll see what happens here, but hopefully these cautions, this last one, they've had 6 incident cautions so far. We are about 50 laps into the race here. coming down the back stretch. What used to be the front stretch, it's no longer the front stretch. They got rid of that and moved it around. This is the new setting for Phoenix. That old setting you used to see the start-finish line coming across through that back stretch that we just went through. That was the old finish line. Now it's right here in the turn, so this creates a little bit different of a D-shaped, weird egg shape. So definitely a very unique and very cool track. Like I said, I really did not like this track on console, but on iRacing, I actually really enjoy racing it. So back green though, Nathan Estep up front still. Blake Henderson sitting second. Christopher Pendell moving back up through the field as he pitted last time. Now up to third. Bryce Boyer back up to the top 5 in fourth. Marcus Chafin sitting fifth. Mark Parker actually takes the position from Bryce Boyer moving into fourth now. Kevin Gibney Jr. up to seventh. Matt Boone, after his early wreck from the 90, got back up to eighth right now. Matt Smith up to ninth, and Ryan Muche rounds out the top 10 in that 44 Ford machine back there, sitting about mid-pack. So haven't seen Ryan up here too much tonight, but looking at him now here riding around, he's kind of swarmed. This is not where you want to be. This is that old hornet's nest that I always talk about before. You know, this is where guys are really pushing it to try to get as many positions as they can. You see them 3, 4 wide sometimes, going through the dog leg or coming into turn 1. It is not the position you want to be in 4 wide going into that turn. Somebody gives the boot. I don't know who that is in front of him, but they just gave the boot to him. So I want to say that is towards the front. So that might be Blake Henderson getting the boot. I think it is. And we got a caution out on track again. And it looks like it is Zachary Aperson again. So we'll take a look, see how he got turned around. Was he turned around on by somebody else, or did he just get loose coming out of turn 2? Take a look here. I do see that the 90 was involved, so we're gonna have to maybe tell these guys to chill out a little bit. But some vendettas are being built here at Phoenix. If this is the same thing again. Nope, wrong one. So let me go back. And I think this one might have been a little retaliation. Actually, it looks like the 90 got loose. And 41 was not expecting it, and maybe didn't give him a little bit of room to recover, and tagged him in that right rear and sent him around. Also involved is Hunter Whitlock involved in this, 35. So 41, 35, and 90 all involved in this one towards the back half of the field. Matt Boone, you got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
All right, good, buddy. Looks like you were punted in that first stage. Looks like you're working your way back up through the field, and you are in the top 10 now. A little bit probably happy to be out of that hornet's nest back there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
How does the car feel otherwise?
Car feels fine. I'm trying to be patient, and nobody else seems to have patience, and that's what keeps bringing these cautions.
Well, I was kind of portraying it as a kind of a short track racing style, where you got some guys who like to let off a little earlier going to the corners. You got some guys who like to deep dive into the corner and kind of diamond it and let it slide up out of the way. And I think that's just been part of the problem towards the back, is you've got some of those guys who like to let off and some of those guys who like to deep dive. case in point, it looks like the 90 likes to deep dive, and he obviously ran into you, who was off the gas, and he clearly ran into the 41 as well, who was off the gas. So looks like there's just a few different strategies or styles of driving this track. Looks like yours is maybe one of the ones that you let off a little bit early or break a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm getting off early and just kind of trying to coast through the corner, and getting on the throttle, not goosing it, but just nice and easy and letting it roll out of the corner.
Smooth as normally as you are. So we'll see if you can get back up here through the field. You've got a great point stance so far, and you've got a great starting position. Just need to get these finishes under control with these guys making mistakes and you get caught up in them. So look forward to seeing you go back up to the front and hopefully see you at the end of the race.
Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to get my first top 5 or top 10. I haven't got one of those yet this season, so
Hopefully we can get it here. Good luck, bud.
thanks.
Yeah, Boone, he's been struggling with the finishes just because he's up here towards the front, but he usually gets caught up in somebody else's mess, except for, I think, when we were at Richmond, he spun himself from the front twice from the top position. He was in first and spun himself twice. So other than that race, he's just been caught up in a lot of other people's stuff towards the end of these races and gets taken out and can't do much about it because there's nothing he can do once he gets start getting wrecked. And like he said, looking for his first top 5, but he's still in the top 10 in points. That tells you he's been fast all along throughout the race. He just doesn't have the finishes because he gets caught up in it. But hopefully tonight will be the first time he can finish this race out, and I'd like to see him finish first, not just in the top 5. So there's a few guys out there. I know Shad's looking for his first win. Corey Kobe's looking for his first win. Matt Boone looking for his first win. Wes Fuller. There's a lot of different guys. Like I said, we've had 6 first winners through the first 6 races. No repeat winners. So we'll see if that trend continues tonight. I think it would be a cool thing just to keep seeing more and more first-time winners and not the same people winning all the time. But we'll see what happens here at Phoenix. This track is pretty tricky. Nathan Estep, though, out front leading a bunch of laps right now, stayed out after stage 1. So doesn't look like it's really hindered him. And I think maybe he's trying to just get the points he can for stage 2. So we'll see what happens here with him. Christopher Pendel back out to the 2nd spot. Been really fast, led a lot of laps to start this race. So back up front. Marcus Chafin, though, up 11 positions right now. Currently, he is your race winner from the practice session early on in the week, and he is currently back up into the top 5, sitting 3rd, up 11 spots. Mark Parker is still sitting 4th, his original starting position, and we have a caution out on track. This one looks like somebody got loose in front of Bryce. Somebody got loose coming out through the middle of the corner, then another guy got loose again. It looks like the 51. Bryce tried to avoid, tries to correct it and just can't get it corrected and hits that inside wall. Looks like the 51 that was the second car to get loose in that line does tag him just a little bit. Shouldn't be that much damage, but I don't know who it was that got loose first. So this is just more turn 2, people getting loose in it.
Hey, what's up, man? The tires feel all right. The track feels good. I obviously like it a lot better down sundown than I did daytime. You know, there's a lot more grip on the track. Um, but you know, things are going good so far. I'm usually this is not one of my favorite places because I just for some reason this place has never been kind to me in the past, and I was able to figure it out and able to stay up front here. Hopefully, I can stay up front here and get some good points because I'm pretty far back in the standings right now. But this thing's a hot rod right now, so we'll hopefully it's good to me the rest of the race.
Yeah, I just realized I was muted. This thing keeps muting me for some reason. But yeah, my question to you, if I know everybody heard his answer, but my question was just how is you like the driving at the track and things like that. So, but I see you keep taking the inside line. Is that your preference? Is that inside line instead of that outside line?
Hold on a sec. Hey Blake, I'm on. I got an interview right now. Hold on. Yeah, I prefer the inside line just so that way I can get down in the corner. I don't really like using the dog leg too much, but you're able to use that dog leg to get some passes and make some passes. And maybe later on as the tires get some wear down on them, I'll probably move to the outside, but we've not had enough green flag laps for me to try that. So right now the inside's probably the best on restarts. And obviously I'm trying to shift down to 4-2. That helps out a lot. But we'll try to go out here and get it, man.
All right, Deep Racing is sponsoring this race, so go out there and try to get a win for your team with them sponsoring this race. Good luck, bud.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, so that was Chris Prendell. Yeah, he's a little further back in the standings. When we pull those up real quick, we can take a look here. He is sitting 18th right now, 188 points. Not so far out of 15th, though. So he did miss a few races, so him climbing back up through the points definitely helping him right now with being out front. Had the win earlier in the season already. So it's looking pretty good for Chris Prendell to get through into the top 15, especially if he keeps running like he is. It looks like we have another caution out on track. Try to find this one for you guys. So this one looks like Shad just gets punted also. Looks like the 22 of Gary Donaldson goes into the corner, and he might be underneath Shad, but I don't think he's cleared to be able to go up in there, and he clearly wasn't going to make the turn either with the speed he was going. So you can see Shad's angling down, and Gary's just going in there. There's no way Gary's going to make that corner with the speed he's carrying. So that was just either a mistake or some sort of punt. I'm not sure what that was about, but no way the 22 was going to make that corner with the 88 right there on his outside like that. So we are under another caution here at Phoenix Raceway. These guys have got to learn to go into these corners a little leery, a little weary about who's in front of them and how they're letting off or braking into the corners. Some guys just like to let off. We heard Bowling or Matt Boone say, you know, he likes to let off and just let it coast through the corners. I think that's the way that Shad runs too. And there's just a few guys who like to run that way, and there's a couple other guys who just like to deep dive into that corner as much as possible. And if one of these guys who likes to let off early and roll through the corner is in front of them, they're just getting run over and punted out of the way, and it's bringing up some caution. So hopefully these guys who like to deep dive into the corner can figure out who it is that likes to let off and maybe be a little bit more cautious going into the corner, or we're not going to have too many cars left if this keeps going. These guys are lined up again. We are going to go green again. 55 of Nate Estep still out front with Blake Henderson on his outside. Christopher Mendel looking to take it 3 wide into turn 1, getting that run, going into the corner, going to take the short track. Going down on the apron, going to slide job everybody and try to come up in front of him. He takes the lead, but is he going to be able to hold it coming out of the turn? Nate Estep now on his inside, trying to take that position back. Christopher Mendel in the preferred line, and that middle line to outside line going to carry the momentum through 3 and 4 and take the first lap again as the leader. Been many laps now since he was the leader. Now he's back out front. See if he can set sail and disappear, or if the cautions continue. Cautions do breed cautions, so hopefully that was the last caution we see. Never mind. We are going to see one more at least on lap 80 as we have the end of the stage coming up in 12 laps. Something happened to Christopher Mendel there. He slid all the way back to 7th. So it looks like he had a little bit of an issue coming off the corner and did not wreck anybody, but slid out of the way and is going to have to regroup and come back through the field to get back up there. But Nate Estep back to the front. Dylan McDonald now, after he was involved earlier in a wreck with Shad and the 98, back up to the top 3, battling here with Blake Henderson on the inside of him, or on the outside of him. Marcus Chafin now sitting 4th. These guys are all moving up through the field. Marcus Chafin up 10 positions, our biggest mover so far. And we got a slow car down the backstretch, and that looks like it's going to be the 38 of Dylan McDonald as Wes Fuller gets loose right in front of him and is able to save it. Big save by the 5 of Wes Fuller. Dylan McDonald gathered it back up and is going again, but big issues for these guys coming off of turn 2 as they look like they slow down a lot. It looks like we have another caution being brought out on track, and it looks like this one's going to involve the 5 who we just saw get loose. And there's another car involved. Looks like it's a DJ Anderson of the 23 and Alistair Kirk of the 51 are going to be involved in this also. We saw the 5 get really loose there in front of the 38 as the 38 was slowed up. As he comes out of or goes around the dog leg, he gets loose again coming out of the corner, and this time tries to correct it and snaps it right into the 51, also involving the 23 of DJ Anderson. So a couple guys involved in this one too. 5 looked like he just was on ice out there. Looked like a deer on roller skates trying to figure out how to go around this track without getting loose. He got loose in 3 different corners in a row. Not a very good lap there for Wes Fuller, but I'm sure he'll be able to gather it back up and try to get going here again. Nathan, you got a copy? This is Watts in the booth.
Yeah, hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Nate? You're leading a lot of laps. That's what's going on here. You're avoiding some of these issues towards the back with guys getting loose in the corners or just not knowing when people are letting off or braking and running them over. And you're sitting here in Deep Racing. You sponsor your group sponsors this race here. You're out front being chased down by the owner admin Blake Henderson. What do you got for the rest of the field here? As I think that's probably going to be our second stage, if I'm not mistaken, now that you guys are on lap 76. Did you hear anything about the second stage, that this would be the end of it?
I think we're going to do like a green-white checkered here for it, but what I really wish I had was some tires. I haven't taken tires yet this race, so...
Oh, wow.
They're a little beat up right now, but somehow holding on to it.
Well, being out front has its perks. You're able to carry the momentum, able to set the corner. I'm sure you're probably looking in the mirror like the rest of the guys right now, as some guys are kind of over driving into the corners, but you're able to hold them off with these old tires. I mean, that kind of shows you that these tires don't mean as much at this track. So this could be a late race strategy also being pulled if these tires don't mean that much with over 90 laps to go still here. This could be a huge strategy that you found.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said anything, right? If anybody else is listening.
Yeah, there's probably a few that might have heard it, but yeah, I've actually, like I said before to Blake last week, I ran not knowing that it was a road to pro race, but finished second here, and actually that was one of my strategies, was running a lot of laps on one set of tires and conserving tires towards the end. When guys didn't have any sets left. So there's been a lot of cautions. A lot of guys have used tires, or they may be on the same sets you're on, but definitely a strategy to pull off in the end. Looks like you're going to take the inside on this new choose rule tonight. How are you liking this choose rule?
So far I like it, so we'll see if I can hold them off here. I hope so. I need the points. I wasn't able to make like the last week or two, so hopefully get the stage win here.
Well, I think you are sitting, where are you at?
Not very good.
Trying to find you in the points, sorry. Not trying to laugh at you, but you are 20th in the points at 185 points, so only about 15 points back from 15th, which is where you need to be at the end of the season. So good luck as you're out front and continue to lead.
All right, thank you.
All right, you heard him there. He's trying to collect as many points as he can, sitting back in 20th right now in the points. These guys, I told you, they're paying attention to where these points are lining up, trying to get as many points as they possibly can. You heard him say he's on old tires, has not taken tires this entire race. That's 80 or 79 laps on the same set of tires. Nathan Estep still out front and able to clear the front row here. I mean, you can tell these old tires, they're really hanging on for him. A lot of guys say that the tires get chewed up here at Phoenix, but I actually don't think. It depends on how you drive the track. If you let off and you let it roll through and let it just, turn the car itself instead of really cranking the wheel, you really can conserve tire and make them stretch. And it's really paying off for the 55 and 8 E-Step. Blake Henderson sitting second. Marcus Chafin sitting third. Matt Smith fourth. Mark Parkour sitting fifth. Christopher Pendell sixth. Hunter Whitlock seventh. Shad Swatsworth actually just swapped positions with Hunter Whitlock back and forth here as we look at these two driving around this track. They are battling it out here side by side coming off the corner, battling for 7th and 8th. Matt Boone now up to 9th, Bryce Boyer 10th, and there's the end of the stage break. All right, we're going to take a commercial break and be right back after the pit stops happen here at the end of stage 2. We'll be ready to go for stage 3.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. On I burn. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. On I burn.
We're back here at Phoenix Raceway. After the pit stop, Shad Swatsworth now going to be your new leader with 1 to green. Corey Kobe, his teammate, starting in second. Matt Stevens going to be third. Nathan East at fourth. Blake Henderson fifth. Marcus Chafin sixth. Matt Smith seventh. Mark Parkhorst eighth. Hunter Whitlock ninth. And Matt Boone ninth. That's 3 Corey Boone racing drivers up there. Also multiple Tombstone drivers and just a couple deep racing drivers. So field's getting mixed up by different teams here, but Shad Swatsworth and Corey Kobe starting in the front row, inside and outside. Corey Kobe, no front bumper though. Not sure if he's aware of that, but no front bumper on that 10 car out front on the front row. So whoever's starting fourth there is gonna have to be aware of no front bumper. So I don't know if it's gonna happen here for Nate Eastep, who's following Corey Kobe, but it's gonna be a pretty weird start though. Back under green to start the stage 3. Shad Swatsworth fanning out, everybody fanning out. You can see him 3, 4 cars wide, trying to make it through the dogleg to get into turn 1. That's where that treacherous damage and banging off each other can happen with guys going that far down. You can't see out these window nets unless you have VR. So you don't know if somebody's down there, or you don't know if somebody's on your outside when you come back up from the dogleg, and it can cause a lot of issues. But these guys get all the way through and get clear. They are going to fan out. Shad Swatsworth going to be out front now by a second and a half. Shad Swatsworth out to a half-second lead over second place Nathan East. Marcus Chafin, your winner earlier in the week, moving up now up 11 spots, sitting third. Blake Henderson still in the top 5, been hovering around the top 5 all night, sitting that 25. Ford sitting fourth in that body armor paint scheme. Mark Parker is up to 5th. Matt Smith battling out with Bryce Boyer for 6th and 7th. Matt Steven and Matt Boone fighting for 8th and 9th, and Hunter Whitlock in the 35 sitting 10th. Shad leading these laps is going to come down to another caution here out on track. The 11th incident caution for tonight, but Shad is not looking forward to that. He was looking for multiple green flag laps. Now we're going to have another caution, so it's going to restack this field up. We'll take a look to see if we can find out what caused that caution. Looks like Kevin Gibney just lost all control of his steering wheel and just went completely to the right. Involved in this one is going to be DJ Anderson, Guy Clem, Kevin Gibney Jr. Might have been one of the two also involved in that, but yeah, not sure what happened there for Kevin. Kind of weird. Just looks like his wheel shut off on him. He just went right. A lot of the drivers were talking about the cars being tight after the sun went down. Well, the sun is down. Temperatures are down to 85 for track temp. We started at 89, 90, so cooling off a little bit, which is weird that they get tight. I would have thought they would have been catching up on grip as the tires cooled off a little bit, but some guys are saying that the car gets really tight. I actually prefer the car to be tight myself and be able to figure out how to drive it from there. I don't mind a semi-loose car, but these guys who like the cars really loose, I can't drive those. So they should be restacking them up and pairing them up here. Should be coming to 1 to green as Shad and Nathan Estep on his outside right now, but he is starting second, so we'll see if Nathan can choose rule himself to the front or if he'll start behind Shad sitting in third place instead. And where does Marcus Chafin go? Does he go to the outside or does he stay in line on that bottom line as well? It looks like Nate Estep is showing his cards ahead of time and saying, I'm taking the outside line. One to green, and we will give another crank it up here shortly. Get those engines cranking and noise built up. Hopefully they can get a long green flag run going here. I'd love to see him get a full stint through the fuel. Back under green, see all these guys fanning out. It's the coolest thing about Phoenix is the way that everybody fans out through that dog leg or staying up on track. You can get 3, 4, 5, 6 wide sometimes, depending on how far you go down that dog leg and who else goes down there with you. As you see a bunch of battling back here. This is as it gets fanned out, you know, as the front starts to single file, as Nate Eastep now becomes our leader. Shad giving up the lead to Mark Parkhorse, battling on Shad's outside. It looks like we've got another caution coming out. We'll go and take a look now. See what brought this one out. I didn't see anything on track, but it looks like Pendel might have been involved in this one, our pole sitter. So Pendel tried to use the dog leg, and that's what we were talking about with not knowing who was still out there. Thought he was cleared on the 98 and was not cleared. Came across the nose and turned himself into the wall. Nate Eastep back towards the front. Not sure if he's pitted yet. Taking a look here, he pitted 17 laps ago, so that would have been at the stage break. Him and Parkhurst both on the same strategy. Shad, though, did not pit at the end of the stage break on 34 old lap old tires right now. So Shad's sitting, though, in third place. We'll see who takes the inside, who takes the outside, who mixes this up in this top 10. Should be them coming to one green. They will restack them and do the choose rule. New rule tonight implemented in HTL iRacing series. Who will choose the inside? Who will choose the outside? Will the leader continue to take the inside line as he has been taking? It looks like the top three have all chosen that inside line. That's going to move Marcus Chafin, who was fourth, up to the front row next to Nathan Eastep. That's also going to move Blake Henderson up to the outside of Mark Parkhurst in the second lane. Going to be fourth place right now. As we go green here, let's do a crank it up and just turn up that volume.
What's going on, brother? It's pretty chaotic. I'm just trying to keep track position and keep my nose clean. Right now, I'm just really giving room, taking where I can. Not trying to force the issue too much. It's been a pretty solid day, mistake free so far. So just looking to keep that going. It seems like a lot of people took notes from that last lap of that Darlington race this past weekend, huh? That's right. Yeah, I'm hoping so too, man. I'm hoping so too. I'm ready to get some laps under this Budweiser Chevy. See what we can do. Thanks, brother.
These guys are looking really smooth to the front. Nate Estep kind of pulling away from the rest of the field. Mark Parker settling in second. Marcus Chafin under fire from Blake Henderson, his teammate underneath Marcus right now, trying to take third place. Bryce Boyer also sitting there trying to follow these guys around, trying to catch back up to the leaders. Matt Smith sitting second, already has a win this season, so there's a few guys in the front that have wins already. Blake, one of them. Matt Smith, one of them. Christopher Pendell, another one sitting 10th. The rest of the winners look to be towards the back of the field. So could we have another first-time winner? We've had 6 straight first-time winners, no multi-winners. This could be another one with Nate Estep if this finishes out this way, or even Mark Parkhorst, who's sitting second, does not have a win either. Fourth place does not have a win of Marcus Chafin. Fifth place, Bryce Boyer does not have a win. So there's a lot of guys in the top 5 right now, other than Blake Henderson, who does have a win. These guys are able to put down a lot of green flag laps now. Hopefully this is a sign that these guys have calmed down. Nate Estep still out front, though, leading a bunch of laps tonight. This could be his bonus night, getting multiple bonus points. Mark Parker is sitting second. Was the points leader a few weeks ago and then wound up having to miss a race and has climbed back up through. But Marcus Chafin sitting there in third, looking for that first win. We just spoke to him. He's looking to keep his nose clean, stay out of trouble, and be here at the end of the race. Bryce Boyer sitting fourth in that one car, that Bud Light paint scheme. Marcus Chafin driving the Budweiser paint scheme. So pretty cool Bud sponsorships here. Maybe they can get some Budweiser sponsorships going on. But Matt Smith sitting in fifth right now in that 29 machine, designed, I believe, by Dylan McDonald in that purple car. So pretty cool paint scheme for him. Angel Santiago in the 90. We've seen some issues with the 90 tonight. Up here in sixth, though, that's probably not going to bode well for the guys who have had incidents with the 90. Seeing him finish up here after getting punted a few times by the 90. So some guys may not like that. Blake Henderson in the 25 Ford sitting 8th. Shad Swadsworth up to 9th again in that 88 paint scheme he designed himself. Gary Donaldson, who ran over the 88 earlier on the race in turn 3, right behind Shadigan in that 22 Ford of 14 positions. Hunter Whitlock now passing Gary Donaldson as well on the inside of him. Takes over 10th as Gary falls to 11th. John Gunkans, who finished second in the practice race, sitting 12th right now. Alfred Denny in the 21, the April Absurdity victor, is sitting 9th right now, or 13th, up 9 positions. Matt Stevens in the 98, up 7 positions, sitting 14th right now in his Toyota machine. Zach Aberson, who we've seen had a few run-ins tonight with the 90, sitting 15th right now. Matt Boone back 11 spots, sitting 16th. Looks like he's just kind of taking it easy after being involved in that earlier wreck. Ryan Moutre in the 44 sitting 17th right now. DJ Anderson, who's been in a couple incidents as well, sitting 18th in his Toyota. No front bumper to that one, just banged it off the wall right there. Corey Kobe, the first car a lap down in that 10, following his teammate Matt Boone, sitting right there with no front bumper as well, trying to hang on here. Alistair Kirk in the 51, down 7 laps, sitting in 20th. Wes Fuller, 21st, sitting 10 laps down. Guy Clem in the 37, sitting multiple laps down as well. Looks like he is 32 laps down. Back out on track, though, Kevin Gibney, 32 laps down as well. Dylan McDonald out of the race at 46 laps down. So that is the entire field as we've got them set up right now. Nate Estep back to the front, still out front, running around. We did see him say earlier that the tire strategies might play parts in here, as he did not take tires those first 80 laps of the race. Parker still running in the trails of the 55 of Nate Estep. You can see from the back window, these cams were given to me by the owner admin, Blake Henderson, for tonight's race at Phoenix. They look really cool, if I have to say myself. That couple different driver views that he gave me was really cool to see. This top roof camera looking back at the driver, Mark Parker, is blinking a little bit, though. Just disappeared for a second there. You can see how Mark is not really fading from the back bumper of Nathan Estep. Parker is staying close to him, so not letting him get away. They're both on the same set of tires, though, so this will probably be these two fighting it out if they can continue to stay green here. We've gone green for multiple laps here. Looks like 55 to go. These guys are knocking off laps pretty quickly at 29 seconds each. So if they can continue green flags, they should be able to end this thing in the next 25 minutes here. But these guys are looking really smooth up towards the front. The lone Brit out here, Alistair Kirk. Actually, I'm seeing 2 flags on him, so I'm not sure if it's either Great Britain or Ireland, but the way iRacing has it set it up. But he's back here in 20th in that 51. We saw him in Indianapolis be so fast compared to everybody else on track, and it actually wound up hurting him as he just kind of ran over a couple people being that fast. He just wasn't expecting them to be that much slower than him, and just caught him up into some trouble. Mark Parkour still staring at the back of that 55, trying to reel him in. Unsuccessful right now as they are both running almost identical lap times. Nate East at that time around ran a 29.348. Parkour's ran a 29.399, so only 5/100ths off. Marcus Chafin a little bit off of that time. Right now, fastest on the track is Shad Swansworth back there with a 29.319. About 3/100ths faster than the leader. Fastest on track overall through the entire night. Best lap is by Christopher Pendell, running a 27.977. So almost 2 seconds faster than what they're running now is what they were running back then. That was 46 laps ago when they last took tires. So a lot of guys out here on old tires. They've gone through a bunch of sets with these cautions where guys have just not come down and grabbed tires, or guys have gone down and just taken tires each time. Limited set of tires, so these guys might only have a few sets left. One of Bryce Boyer right there with Christopher Pendell on his rear bumper, chasing down Marcus Chafin. Bryce going way down in the dogleg to make the pass on Chafin in the 8. Chafin's going to have the high line, not going to be able to make the pass back on the 1, not going to be able to cross him over. Christopher Pendell now looking to the inside of the 8 of Marcus Chafin, trying to follow that 1 car through. He should be able to clear him through 3 and 4 before they come across the finish line, and does so. That's going to move Christopher Pendell up into the top 4. Marcus Chafin now back to 5th place. Matt Smith 6th. Shad Swansworth up to 7th. Angel Santiago in the 90 at 8th. Blake Henderson falling back to 9th. Hunter Whitlock 10th. Looking at the lap time still, Shad Swansworth still the fastest guy on the track at 29.337. That's 0.2 faster than the leader was that last lap. Matt Boone looking underneath the 53 of John Kukunz with the 98 of Matt Stevens trying to follow him. Boone going way down on that dog leg trying to make the pass on Gutekunst. He's right underneath him as he goes into turn 1 and 2, not able to complete the pass. Gutekunst still on the outside, almost cleared, but did not clear enough. Now Matt should have the drive off the corner and should clear him to go down the backstretch. Nate Eastet pulling out to about a second lead over the field. Mark Parkour still trying to run him down, but not able to do so far. Bryce Boyer, though, making up some ground back 1.3 seconds. So making up some time as I hear an engine blow, and it sounds like it is the 23 of DJ Anderson that just had his engine blow. He is down and off the main line, running around the inside line of the track, trying to make it back around. I think he may just park it. Trying to look at him here. He's still coasting on the bottom. I don't know if he makes it all the way back around. He may have to just hit the brakes and park it. He's going to try to coast it, and he hits the brakes. And that brings out the caution. So that is what happens when you park on the track. It brings out the caution. So Mark, you got a copy. This is Swats in the booth.
Yes, sir. I got you.
What's going on, bud? You are out front now. You've been hovering right here around the top 5 most of the night. Now out front. What do you got for the last stint here? It looks like about another 40 laps.
Well, Nathan was been a dominant car all day, I feel, and I kept right up with him on that run. We had a nice battle for the lead for that last green run there, and he's back in traffic now. So if I can keep the tires on, I think I got a good shot at it.
Well, you seem to be one of the faster cars on track. You've been able to hover right there in the top 5 most of the night. Like I said, Nate being marred back in some traffic. Christopher Pendel also behind you in some traffic, has been really fast, led a lot of laps earlier. Blake Henderson also behind you. So you got a lot of fast cars that are kind of back in the middle of the field that are going to be coming up front. So try to get away if you can. But Christopher Pendel took that outside line. So good luck on this restart, bud.
Thank you.
See him fan out going to the corner. Chris Pendel got a great jump on that outside line. He's actually able to make that outside line prevail, and that's what I was talking about earlier in the race. Is that outside line to me was the better choice on the restarts to get that run downhill. But a lot of guys were taking the inside line. Pendel using the outside line takes the lead from Parkhorst. Parkhorst now set back in second where he was before that last caution came out. He's going to try to work the back end of Christopher Pendel to get back out front. Marcus Chafin still sitting third. Angel Santiago now up to 4th. Matt Smith 5th. Bryce Boyer 6th. Nathan Estep, the leader before that caution, had a poor pit stop there and comes out 7th. Blake Henderson sitting 8th. Hunter Whitlock 9th. Chad Swatsworth 10th, who was the fastest car on track up until that caution came out. Gonna send us into the crank it up one more time. Crank up that volume and listen to these guys fly around this track. Looks like we had a caution underneath that crank it up there. Looks like some guy might have involved in this one, so we'll take a look here and see if we can find it here. Looks like Matt Smith was involved in this one. Matt right there in that purple car as he goes into the corner. We'll see what happens here. Ooh, the 25 of Blake Henderson getting into the side of Matt. Blake able to save it. Matt almost saving it and then clips the pit road right into the barrels, bringing out the caution. Matt, you got a copy of this? Is Swats in the booth.
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
All right, but it looks like you and your teammate Blake Henderson there had a little bit of a run-in coming off the corners. You were almost able to save it and wound up hitting the barrels. How's the car as far as damage? Can you tell if you have damage or not?
Well, I used my fast repair on it, but it did have damage where the wheel was cocked to the side, so I knew it wasn't any good, so I was forced to use my fast repair.
Is that is it just the cars that are getting loose out of two like that? I mean, we saw in the replay, we could see Blake slid up the track just a little bit right into your door as a teammate, so I would assume he's not wrecking you on purpose, so I just assume that it's just the track being loose. Are you feeling anything on the track?
The track feels tight, to be honest. I think that's what our main problem is. Everybody just a little antsy, get close to the end of this race, and the car's a little bit on the tight side, so just hard racing. I have run triples, and it looked like Blake like jolted to my right, like maybe like the net could or something, and it freaked me out a little bit, and I yanked the wheel to the right a little bit and made myself lose. So that's what that all initial was all about. But I tried to save it, but unfortunately couldn't make it past the barrels and had to use my fast repair.
If there was one less barrel there, I think you would have made it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, good luck in this third stage. We'll see you try to climb back through the field. You've been in the top 10 most of the night, so we'll see if we can get back up there and finish up there for you.
Yes, sir.
Send you back to Tombstone Motorsports. Good luck, Matt Smith.
Thank you.
All right, so you heard him there. It looked like Blake came a little close to him, and he just either a little bit of net code or, like he said, it might have just scared him a little bit. And he cranked his wheel just a little bit and got him loose, brought him over, turning in front of Blake, and he was almost able to save it. But that one extra triple barrel in front of pit road stopped him from making it. But back up front, Mark Parkhurst, your leader. Bryce Boyer now going to be on the outside, followed by Budweiser teammate Marcus Chafin in the 8. Nathan Estep going to be starting third on that inside row. Looks like Hunter Whitlock on the inside row in 5th, and Blake Henderson just involved in that incident on the inside or outside row in the 80 or the 25. The 88 of Shad's. Whoa! Now Shad is going to be taken out of this race right there. The 35 and 55 making contact and getting involved with each other and turning down in front of the 88 of Shad Swadsworth. That will probably end the night for Shad as far as I can tell. The amount of damage that he had looked pretty bad. So we'll take a look real quick and see what caused the two of those guys to get involved and spin across the front end of Shad. So I'm going to use the blimp cam for this one because we need to be pretty high. We can see these guys are 4 wide coming out of that corner, and as they go through that little stretch, Shad's clearly still down on the bottom, and Whitlock and Nate Estep collide coming off of the dog leg, and it turns Estep right into Shad, still down on the dog leg. Shad didn't have any choice there. He didn't do anything wrong. He was down on the dog leg, and the two in the middle of the foursome collided and spun down in front of him, taking him out. We'll see what kind of damage Shad had on his car. I don't see a whole lot. He does have some right side damage for where the cars came across and connected with him, but it's not looking too terrible. As fast as he's been on track, he should be able to still make up some positions. I don't know if he has his fast repair since he was involved in that incident with the 22 early on in the race where he got ran over. I don't think he has his fast repair still. I wish SDK or iRacing would put that into the abilities for us to be able to see. It'd be really nice to be able to tell who still has fast repairs and who does not. So it'd be nice if iRacing would throw that in for the broadcasters, and then SDK or somebody else out there could code up some little bit of overlay for us to be able to see who still has those and doesn't. Or if the league just removed fast repairs altogether, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I've only seen a few leagues doing that, at least in my world of leagues I see. So there's only a few leagues out there that I know of that I see that do not have fast repairs. It makes the driving a little bit more obviously realistic with not having anything to back up and go in and completely redo your car. But Shad's coming down pit road here. We'll see if he does use a fast repair or if he's able to get some of this damage fixed. It doesn't look that bad. The right side's a little crinkled, a little wavy, but for Phoenix, that's really not that bad. So. And it looks like Shad does not have a fast repair, so he's fixing as much as he possibly can on track. Mark Parkour still your leader out here. 30 laps to go. These guys can wind them down here pretty quickly if they can get going. Another green flag run like they did. Those 40, 50 laps that they ticked off really ran off the clock pretty fast with doing that. So right now it looks like they've got about 15 minutes left in the session based on the timing. So either way, it'll be over then. But who's going to come out on top? We still, like I said, this has been a crazy league so far with 6 first-time winners. Nobody really has, no multi-winners. So Mark Parker's 0 wins. He could be another one to tally his first win of the season. Bryce Boyer, no wins as well. Marcus Chafin, no wins. So top 3, no wins between them. First 1-win person is Blake Henderson sitting 4th. Matt Boone, Alfred Denny, Ryan Moutre, John Gutkins, Gary Donaldson, all no wins this season as well in the top 10. Next first-time winner, or next 1-win driver is Christopher Pendel back in 10th. We get going again here. Everybody starts fanning out, going 3-4 wide through the dog leg. They make it through this time. We'll see if they can make it through 1 and 2. Still green. They are starting to fan closer together 2 by 2 now as they come out of turn 2. Some guys getting single filed. You see the 1 of Bryce Boyer there slide up in front of another driver there. That's Alfred Denny in the 21. Your new leader, Marcus Chafin, the winner early on in the week for the practice race. Now your new leader, Mark Parker's fallen to 2nd. Blake Henderson 3rd. Bryce Boyer 4th. Alfred Denny 5th. Matt Boone moving back up through the field, now 6th. John Gutkins 7th. Finished 2nd in the practice race. Moving up through the field. Christopher Pendel also moving up, now 7th. Started 10th on that restart. Nate Estep, your leader for most of this second half of this race, is sitting 9th coming back through the field. Ryan Moutre now 10th. Parkhorse gets back by Marcus Chafin, moving Marcus Chafin back to 3rd. Gets a little loose coming out of the corner. That allows Parkhorse to take the lead back. Now Chafin under fire from Blake Henderson sitting 2nd. Bryce Boyer nipping at the heel of the 2, also sitting 4th. Matt Boone now up to 5th, his original starting position. I'm sure he's happy to be back into the top 5, looking for that first top 5 finish, as he told us earlier in the race. Parkhorse back out front, now leading. Caution though coming out. Looks like this one's going to involve the 29 of Matt Smith and possibly the 10 of Corey Kobe. All right, so look back at this one. Matt Smith in the 29 there on the inside in that purple car, going across the start stripe, goes down to the dog leg, and it looks like another driver slices right in front of him. He comes back up into the track, goes into turn 1, tries to get underneath the same guy, and it just snaps on him right into Corey Kobe, who was just innocently bystander, riding on the outside line, just gets tattooed into the wall. Horrible place for Corey Kobe to be, but there's nothing he could do about it. Just in the wrong place, the wrong time. Matt Smith just it just snapped on him. I'm not sure what's going on there, but no nothing for him. Just no warning. Just didn't look like he got really loose or anything. Just turned right. That'll be our 17th caution for the night for incident-wise. Going to be 23 to go when we go green here. Mark Parkhorse back out front. Blake Henderson still out front as well. Going to be sitting second right now. That is your points leader. Marcus Chafin sitting third. Bryce Boyer fourth. Matt Boone fifth. Christopher Pendel sixth. Nate Estep seventh. John Goodkunst, 8th. Angel Santiago, 9th. Gary Donaldson, 10th. It looks like SS Motorsports is not happy about his race. I'm sure he is very upset with the 22 from earlier on. And then that one there, obviously, there's nothing he could do about it being down there on the dog leg. And two guys, as they were 4 wide in between him and the outside guy, the two guys in the middle collided. And came spinning across his nose and pushed him right into the wall. So nothing he could do about it. He wasn't, doing anything wrong. He was just in the wrong place, the wrong time. And two guys in the middle racing for position, one not knowing the other one was still there, I guess, and collided and turned right in front of Shad. So nothing he could do about it. I can understand why he's upset, but next week going to Sonoma. I know it's a track that Shad's very, very good at. Watched him race there a couple weeks ago in another league in Turned Down for What, done on Sundays by me, so check them out too. But Shad ran Sonoma there, wound up finishing third. Had probably one of the faster cars with the top two if you could have ever gotten with them. So I know Bryce Boyer was in the booth with me that race, and he really learned a lot from watching Shad run around the track. He picked up a lot of different braking points and let-off points and how he was getting through the gears and things like that. So Bryce going to try to bring that over to HTL racing against the guy he learned it from and see if Shad can pull it off next week at Sonoma. I know Shad picked Sonoma in the other league to be on the schedule, so that's got to be a track Shad's looking forward to. He's very good at road course racing. He finished second to the one and only Ty Gibbs when Daytona Road Course was put out onto officials for iRacing. Shad actually went out there and got put into a lobby with Ty Gibbs and ran well, finished second. Ty Gibbs obviously in another league, obviously winning that race that week in real racing in Xfinity. But Shad finishing second. I think he was only like 6 to 8 seconds back from Ty. But, I mean, still go against a guy who's got multiple wins in the Xfinity Series, probably on the fast track for the Cup Series, and Shad goes out there and finishes second against him. So I think that was a good race for him. We're going to go back green here, and Mark Parkhorse still out front. Blake Henderson looking to become our first multi-winner. You see Marcus Chafin fan out and go way down on the dog leg. Still 3 wide. Mark Parkhorse right on the back bumper of Blake Henderson as he takes the lead. It did not help Marcus Chafin going down into that dog leg. It actually might have hindered him a little bit as Bryce Boyer now going to pull up on his outside and take third from him. And then Nate Estep also riding right there in fourth, going to try to take that position from him as well, moving Marcus Chafin back from second all the way to fifth now. As those two come together, going across the start stripe, Chafin going back down to the dog leg. Estep able to clear Bryce Boyer now for third. As I look back here, it looks like Matt Boone is going to be side by side with the guy who punted him earlier on in the race, Angel Santiago in the 90 in that bright teal car right next to Matt Boone. I'm sure that's weighing in Matt Boone's mind as Angel Santiago gets behind him now. Hopefully it does not repeat. And I see another guy spinning in the back. It looks like it's a 21 of Alfred Denny spinning on the front stretch there as they go through turns 1 and 2. Matt Boone clearing and trying to get away from Angel Santiago as he's sitting 7th right now, trying to move back up through the field. Blake Henderson out front by only 3/10 over Mark Parkhorse. Blake is right now could be our first multi-winner if he does finish out this race with 17 to go. Being in the lead, could be the first multi-winner. Mark Parkhorse and Nate Estep going to try to take that away from him. The next in line would be Christopher Pendel sitting 4th. So that's 2 drivers with wins in the top 4, 2 drivers without wins in the top 4. Blake Henderson out front now by almost a second. He's out 0.8 over Mark Parkour, sitting second in that 32, who's under fire from Nate Eastep, who led a lot of laps in the middle to late part of this race, looking to get back out front and become our 7th first-time winner. But Blake Henderson has something for him as he's out front, looking to become the first multi-winner. Won last week, so this would be 2 in a row if he can pull it off at Phoenix. Under 15 laps to go now. Blake Henderson out front, leading away, pulling away, now up to a second, a little over a second in front of Mark Parkhurst, still being hounded by Nate Eastep. Nate Eastep trying to take that second position, trying to get back to Blake Henderson to take this lead. Christopher Pendel also led at the beginning of this race, also now battling against the 32 of Mark Parkhurst, trying to take 3rd place from him. These 2 guys who've led a lot of laps. These 3 actually, Mark Parkhurst led a bunch of laps too. So these 3 all trying to get back up to the front, chasing down Blake Henderson to stop him from becoming our first multi-winner. Chris Pendel could become our multi-winner too. Bryce Boyer right there, Marcus Chafin, Matt Boone, Angel Santiago, John Guggenkuntz, and Gary Donaldson all wrapping up the top 10, all looking to jump up here and steal this win from Blake Henderson, Nate Eastep, Chris Pendel, and Mark Parkhurst. Of the top 10 as of right now, there are 7 drivers in the top 10 who do not have wins. Blake Henderson, Christopher Pendel, actually 8 drivers in the top 10 who do not have wins. So only 2 have wins, and that's Blake Henderson and Christopher Pendel, both sitting first and 3rd right now. Nate Eastep just a tick faster than Blake Henderson that lap, trying to reel him back in. Christopher Pendel battling it out with Mark Parkhurst and Bryce Boyer all bundled up together, trying to finish out position 3. These guys are all stacked on each other. 4th, or actually 5th and 6th are not that far behind either. So this 5-person group right here of Matt Boone, Marcus Chafin, Bryce Boyer, Mark Parkhurst, and Chris Pendel all gathered up as we got 10 laps to go, chasing down Nate Eastep and Blake Henderson. Blake Henderson's checked out. He's about a 1.5 seconds now out in front of Nate Eastep, who's sitting 2nd. I know Nate and Chris Pendel, who's led a lot of laps tonight with Mark Parkhurst, are all wanting to get up here and jump over Blake Henderson to get this win, especially Nate Eastep and Mark Parkhurst. Blake Henderson with now 2 laps to go as he comes through, looking to become our first multi-winner. Henderson graphics on the back deck lid, looking at Nate Eastep and Christopher Pendel battling back there for second and third. Henderson won last week. This would be 2 in a row for him. Does this start a chain? Last week he said that was his first race win in his league ever. So now 2 weeks in a row could be 2 wins for him and become our first multi-winner. Also the points leader. So this is going to help him extend as he goes to the final lap. Blake Henderson coming through the dogleg. Going through turns 1 and 2. Taking it easy, not to get into the gas too early. He's got enough of a gap to 1.5 seconds to second of Nate Eastep and Christopher Pendel battling out for second and third. He's going to go through the old front stretch, which is now the back stretch. Dive it down into turn 3 and 4 and look for that cactus being lit up on the right side. That will be his final lap. Blake Henderson wins at Phoenix. Blake Henderson going to be our first multi-winner, and he does it 2 weeks in a row with his first and second win ever in HTL iRacing League. He is the owner admin of the league. I'm sure he's going to be ecstatic when he comes in here. Last week he was super excited after getting that first win ever in his own league. Nate Eastep going to finish second, Christopher Pendel third, Mark Parkhorse fourth, Matt Boone fifth, Marcus Chafin sixth, Bryce Boyer is going to be 7th. Angel Santiago, after a few run-ins, is going to finish out 8th. Hunter Whitlock going to be 9th. John Gutekunst is going to come home 10th. Alfred Denny going to be 11th. Gary Donaldson 12th. Zachary Aberson, after getting in multiple incidents with the 90, going to be 13th. Matt Smith going to be 14th. Ryan Moutre coming home 15th. Matt Stevens is going to come home. Steven is going to come home 16th. Alistair Kirk in the 51 going to be 17th. Chad Swadsworth in the 88 going to bring it home 18th tonight. Wes Fuller going to be 19th. Corey Kobe 20th. That's 3 Boone or Kobe Boone teammates in a row right there. Not a good night for those guys. 21st, DJ Anderson in that 23 Toyota. Guy Clem going to be 22nd. Kevin Gibney Jr. going to be 23rd. Dylan McDonald out early in this race, going to be 24th tonight. We'll get Blake Henderson up in the booth as he does his burnouts right now. I'm sure after last week he's going to be continuing just to burn him down as much as possible, not having a win ever in his own league. And now back-to-back 2 weeks in a row, our first multi-winner, points leader, and I'm sure he's going to be all smiles when he comes into the booth in just a few minutes. Taking a commercial, we'll be right back.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, we are in Burnout Lane, KS Gaming Broadcasting tonight in the booth. I'm going to bring in third place Christopher Pendell in that 6 machine. Chris, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
All right, bud, you bringing home top 3 tonight. Needed some points to come back up through the standings here. You led 33 laps tonight in the beginning of the half of this race, worked your way back up through, got back up into the top 5, battled it out there. I thought you were going to try to get by Nate Eastep, but he had some good tires or something because it didn't look like you were able to get by him there. But, I mean, great night for you. You come home third, lead a bunch of laps, so you're going to get points there too. What did you need to have happen other than a caution to catch and get by Estep and to Henderson?
Honestly, I needed to couple of cautions before that. When we took tires, I forgot to fill the car up. So when I got to second there, before that last caution came out, I had to go down pit road and get some fuel, and I was able to drive up through the field there. Me and Nate both. He got into that accident, and he had fresher tires than me. I saved my last set just in case they, needed it. But overall third place, getting a stage win, I'll take it. This is typically, like I said before earlier when you talked to me, this is not one of my best racetracks. I'm usually dog crap here. Excuse my language, but I'll take a third place finish there. Me and Nate was, I think, pretty equal there. Congrats on Blake for the win. But yeah, I think if I wouldn't have had to pit for gas again there, I might have had something for Blake. I think my car was really good on the long run, and I might have had something there for him at the end. But like third place, 2-3 for Deep Racing, and I think 3 of us finished in the top 10. So we'll take it, man. Hopefully next let's get some practice in Sonoma because that's a tough one there.
I mean, Deep Racing sponsor race showed their Facebook page or you guys' Facebook page a couple times. Talked about you guys as sponsors. Bring it home second and third. So you said great night for you. You are back in 18th in the points. I believe you missed a few races. So sitting at 18, you're only 13 points out of the top 15. And tonight's going to bring you with a bunch of guys having issues that were in the top 10 and even the top 15. A lot of them had issues in that should move you a lot closer to those top 15 if not already in the top 15, and you have that win this season. So unless you guys are, I don't know if you guys are running old Sonoma or if you're running the new Sonoma with that stupid carousel or whatever they call it in the middle. I'm not a big fan of that track. NASCAR even isn't a big fan. They're going back to the old style next year. So,
yep.
Or is it this year that they're switching back?
The old style pre-1997.
That whole inner piece, I can't stand that piece. So, yeah, going back to the old style, that long straightaway out of turn 5, going into the turn 6 there, I think it makes it a lot better. So, you guys are going to have a little bit of advantage. You guys run that way, but I don't know what you guys haven't picked for this season. But, yeah, big night for you in points. Great night overall in the finish. Led a bunch of laps, got that 6 car out front for Deep Racing. You guys bring it home second and third. I'm sure your teammate who finished second is going to say the same thing. So, any shout-outs for you?
Obviously, thanks to HTL for putting on this league. I've not had the finishes that I've wanted the past couple weeks, and last week I didn't make it, so I just need to take a break. But thanks to everybody. Thanks for them. Letting me race tonight. I enjoyed it, and like I said, I made me a little bit of confidence at one of my worst tracks to be able to run top 5 and get some laps. So thank you to that. Thank you, obviously, to Deep Racing, my teammates over there, Al, Kevin, Nate, Angel, all those guys that we work together and throughout the race and helps. We share setups how we're going to do it, and we work together. Obviously, thank you to our sponsors, Blackwater Suds, Old Timer Hat Company, Circle B Diecast, Plain Sales Diecast, Grounds and Hounds Coffee. We can't do it without those guys supporting us. So thanks once again, guys. We appreciate it. I want to get them at Sonoma. I'm looking forward to the racing, but I haven't good on it here on iRacing 5, so I'm definitely going to get some laps in if I can make it up.
Well, we'll see what happens next week. But, yeah, like I said, great job finishing the top 3. Led a lot of laps. We're up front a lot. Congratulations on that. We'll see what happens next week at Sonoma.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yep, no problem. All right, we'll bring up second place. That is his teammate in Deep Racing, Nate Estep. We earlier on in the race at the end, he had not taken tires up until that point. Was in the race for 80 laps before he took tires. That strategy pulling off for him. So we'll bring him up into the booth now to talk to Nate Estep. you right there in the first stage after, or the middle between first and second stage, talking about a caution that came out, and you had said you had not taken tires as of that point in the race and did not take tires until the end of the second stage. You led a lot of laps up front, finished second tonight for Deep Racing. You guys go home second and third with a race you guys sponsored tonight. What was the strategy for that third stage, and what did you need to have happen besides the caution to get to Blake?
Well, my strategy kind of got thrown out the window whenever I got spun there. I don't know who it was.
I
Went
believe
to the
that was the
dog leg on a
35 of
restart,
Whitlock.
and yeah, spun me out. I went and tapped their door under caution. After that, just a little bit to show a little displeasure. Nothing nefarious, just like, come on, man. But um, after that, I told everybody I was in chat with I'm driving pissed off now. So I think I went from like 15th to 3rd in like 3 laps. So that was dodging in and out of every car there. But I don't know. Still a good race. I'll take finally leading some laps in this league and getting to finish a race. So I should be better than 20th in points after this.
Well, you led 87 laps tonight, so you are going to get the most laps led. We're very fast there and had some strategy to get you up front for the second stage. I don't remember, did you actually finish at the front of the second stage?
Yeah, and I won
Okay,
the
so you
second
won the
stage.
second stage.
if I
All right.
remember right.
So
Yeah.
you and your teammate both winning stage 1 and 2 tonight. So a lot of points being made up for you guys. Both of you back in the points, like you said, sitting 20th right now. Chris sitting 18th. Both of you going to be able to move up through the points tonight, as a lot of guys who were up at the top 15 had struggles tonight. A few of them not even finishing the race or finishing the race in the teens or 20s on lap down. So you guys should move closer, if not already into the top 15 after tonight. Both of you leading laps, you leading the most laps and finishing second and third. Deep Racing trying to put on a big show tonight for you guys, a sponsored race. I think you guys definitely put on a show. I think 3 of you finished in the top 10. So great job by you guys. Great job on finishing second. Going into Sonoma, Chris was telling us that it's not a track he's really familiar with. I don't know yet. I didn't hear if you guys were running the current style of the inside track, or if you're running the old style that NASCAR is going back to, with that old long straightaway on the back set of the track. How are you feeling about Sonoma?
Oh, I'm ready. I love road racing, so I should get a solid top 5 there. If not, hopefully maybe even a win. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you could become our 7th first-time winner if that does happen. Our first multi-winner tonight, obviously, to Blake. But, I mean, like I said, great job tonight, leading a ton of laps, 87 laps out of the 180. Your teammate leading 33 out of the other leftover that you did not lead. So, but great night for you guys. Any last shout-outs for you?
Yeah. I guess I should shout out my other team, 1776. I started on the Bush League. I thought I was on 1776. Now I'm on Deep. I don't know which team I'm on right now. I'm just out here racing, but just having fun out there. Can't wait for next week. And as always, thanks for broadcasting.
Well, I definitely appreciate you guys being out on track. A lot of different action happening on tonight. Some good, some bad. A lot of different drivers having struggles with diving it deeper into the corners than others. But you survived and came out in second place. So great job. We'll look to see where you come out in the points for next week's race and see what happens next week at Sonoma. You already said you should have a top 5, if not a win. So we'll see if that comes true next week and become our 6th first-time winner. Thank you for coming up into the booth, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And the keyword there was survive.
Yeah. Well, I'll shoot you back down here, and we'll bring up Blake, our winner for tonight's race at Phoenix Raceway. A kind of a longevity of trying to survive, as Nate and I both have said, surviving tonight. Bringing up Nate now. Our winner, first multi-winner, 2-time, 2 in a row, points leader, leading multiple laps as well. Blake, you got a copy, buddy?
I got you, Swats.
I knew you were going to sound like you were out of breath. You were excited. All of those things I just named off has got to make you smile ear to ear. I know last week winning at Indianapolis was a huge deal for you. First win in your series. Um, I don't know if you can top it, but doing it back to back, becoming our first multi-winner, still leading the points. You were up by 5 points going into this race. You're going to be a little bit further as Wes and Matt Smith and Dylan McDonald and Alfred Denny all had issues tonight. So you are going to extend your lead even further. What did you have to do to survive tonight's race?
Um, man, it seemed like just staying up front in like the top 10 seemed to be the way to avoid most of those. I hate to throw shade, but like it did seem that most of the cautions, in fact, pretty much every caution was coming from the back of the pack. Um, so staying up front in top 5, top 10 was kind of the strategy for tonight. Because no real cautions came out up there. So huge track position track here at Phoenix, and it was a long, long race. But I got Pat. I know Parkhurst was in the lead when we went to that final restart, and he had some pretty bad right side damage. So I just took the top on the twos because I thought I could clear him, and I did. And it seemed like tonight, once if we got a semi long run, once the leader got ahead on that start, you just kind of ran away. So that was just kind of the plan. I didn't think we were going to go green the whole time. So I was holding my breath those last 22 laps or so. So it's crazy.
Well, does this top Indianapolis for you? Some people might say one win is a luck, fluke thing to happen. You hadn't had any wins, you said, for your league. You come out last week, you pull off Indianapolis. Now you put down any kind of doubt, and you come out here and do it 2 weeks in a row. Does this top Indianapolis for you?
Um, it wasn't just my first league win in this. It's just my first league win ever was Indy.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
So
it was.
it makes it a big deal.
Phoenix was a good race. It felt good because it felt like I didn't win it on fuel mileage. I did actually pass the leader and kept going. But man, that first win, at a crown jewel track at Indianapolis, it felt pretty good. In a cleaner race as well.
It's like I said, leading 22 laps. The top four led 2 laps. You of the race, you led a majority of the laps. You led 22. Park Horse led 22. Penn 3 and Nate Estep led 4 of you guys. By winning you could, hoping that there would not be a caution. No caution comes out, and you take the victory tonight. Your second in a row, 2 wins, multi-winner, points leader. It's got to be a huge feeling with now going to be 9 races left. Going to Sonoma, though, do you have experience at Sonoma? And can you clarify if we're going to be running the old Sonoma or the Sonoma from last year that they've been running for a few years that now they're switching back to this year to the old Sonoma way?
We're running the last year's format with the short shoot. We felt like that was the best for competition because NASCAR really kind of struggled in my mind with the carousel, so we kind of felt like the short shoot was the way to go. But I've never ran a race at Sonoma. I've only put down like 2 or 3 laps there, but um, I've done some road racing in my career. I've done the 24 hours of Daytona and the 12 hours of Sebring, so um, hoping that pays off. But I know my teammate Alistair Kirk's gonna be the one to watch with his very extensive road race background. But I'm gonna give him hell and see if I can make it 3 in a row.
Well, putting 3 wins in a row is a huge feat. There's only like 4 or 5 guys in NASCAR, real life NASCAR, that have put streaks together like that. I know Kyle Larson put one together last year. You could do it this year in HTL iRacing League. Your league, get your first ever iRacing League win last week. Now you're second, 2 in a row. going for 3 next week would be a huge deal to get 3 in a row. So we'll be pulling for you for that. But great job. Any shout outs for you before we go off?
Yeah, I wanted to shout out my graphic design company, Henderson Graphics. We paint cars. If you can follow us up there on Instagram, we'll get you scored away on some good paints. But yeah, I want to thank my team, Tombstone. Second week in a row, we've had all 5. Gary, Zach, Mootre, and Alistair. We've all been kicking ass the past 2 weeks, and we have an alliance with Tribe Motorsports with Matt Smith, Marcus Chafin, and Bryce Bohr. And yeah, I mean, they talked me through tonight. We're all hoping one of us could come out with it, but it just happened to be me. But I couldn't do what I'm doing without them.
Well, tonight's race brought to you by Deep Racing. We mentioned it a few times, showed their Facebook page. They got sponsors, Blackwater Suds, Circle B Diecast, Grounds and Hounds Coffee, Old Timer Hat Company. Make sure if you go to those websites, check those out, but use that promo code Deep Racing at checkout to get those savings when you go through checkout and get your merchandise. But a great race tonight. A few cautions there could have probably been avoided by guys not deep diving, but you guys will get this figured out. These cars are a little trickier than some of the other series cars or class cars, but I really love the racing that these guys are putting on. So congratulations to you guys for putting on the league, and thanks for having me come out here. Tonight was a little lonely in the booth. Hopefully I'll have somebody in the booth with me next week. I was supposed to have somebody come up and join me, but their race went long, so did not make it up in here. But next week at Sonoma should be an interesting, fun race. A lot of guys are not road course racers, but there's a few that are back in the points that are very good at road courses. So we could see our 6th first-time winner, or maybe our 2nd multi-time winner, or our first 3-time winner. So there's a lot going on next week. We'll catch you here live. Yeah, I'm sure the first winner is what Blake is definitely looking forward to. But yeah, we'll catch you live here next week at 8:15 at Sonoma. Stay tuned. A lot of racing left. 9 races left before we go into the chase race playoffs. So a lot of different drivers still trying to get to that top 15 in points to try to make it in there. We'll see who survives the rest of these races and can make those points up and get into that position to be in the playoffs. Payouts going out to those drivers as well. So a lot is on the line for a lot of different people going through the points, and we'll catch you next week live. Like I said, at 8:15, you can catch us at KS Gaming or KS Gaming 51 on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on TikTok. Anywhere you want to find out any information about the tracks coming up and the racing going on in the track or the league itself. So hit me up. We'll catch you next week. Thank you.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. give me fire, give me that which I desire. On I burn.
I don't know when to break. Nailed it. I was Ball Steve. I ended up dying. I just drove myself into a wall. I'm trying to make some money real quick so I can buy that Ferrari. Yeah, right, Solid. It's so silly. The 250 that's in the Legend shop right now, it's like 8 million. I'll have to grind the Tomahawk grind afterwards. Yeah, I did not take the right line, apparently. I forgot it's the super high line. Oh my god, we missed it. That's embarrassing. Tell no one what you've seen here. Ray Charles doesn't look fast to me. Thanks, Ray.